Looking at the schematic, we have been working with the rear axle, which is axle module 3, and we wired up our left side already. When you look at the axle module and you see the writing, you're looking towards the front of the truck, and on the right side, with the cables hanging down, is the right wheel end, and on the left side is the left wheel end. So now let's go to the front, because I can explain it easier starting. So the display is mounted in the dash or on the dash, and it has a display module cable plugged into it. It's a Y cable. The right side goes to the power harness cable, and that cable has a 0.5 amp fuse in it. So you get ground and 12 volts, or 12 volts to 35 volts or 36 volts, would still work. On the other side is the gauge extension communication cable, and it goes down through the firewall to the first axle module. The first axle module we call SAM1, which means steering axle module 1. And now with it, it's unique because the right side is much longer than the left. The left side goes right down to the wheel end on the left side, and the right side goes up around the front of the motor and back to the right wheel. Now that has a communication cable coming from the axle module 1, plugs into it, and it's called a communication extension cable, goes down, follows along to axle module 2, and they can only plug in one way. It'll plug into axle module 2, and then the same thing happens with left and right. The module's mounted on the frame, the wires follow down over the air lines and down to the wheel ends. Then from that we have another communication extension cable which goes back to the last module, which is axle module 3. And axle module 3 has in some cases has no wire coming out of it, because that's a terminated end. That's it.